Hi, I'm Fleur, I'm the Boxful secretary. Welcome to the first video of Boxful crochet tutorials. This will be beginning to crochet and we'll be talking through how to start crocheting via a slip knot, how to do chains, double crochets, double crochet back loop onlys and trebles, and then finishing via and joining via a slip stitch. So to start, you're going to place the wool over your fingers like that, and behind, and wrap it round to form a cross. Then you're going to take your finger and place it underneath the back and just pull that other side of the cross through to form this loop, which you then put your hook in and tighten up a little bit. So there's lots of different ways to hold the yarn. I like to put it between these two fingers and then twist it underneath and then put it over all four of my fingers and then hold. The important thing is to pinch with your thumb and forefinger the bit that you're working on. And then to do a chain, you go in between the hole between in these fingers, you loop it round and you pull it through the hole. It's a bit tight. So you're aiming for a little gap. It shouldn't be that hard to get it through, but it shouldn't be too loose either. And you're just using your fingers to let more wool through and doing some chains like that. They should be loose enough so that when you come back around to do more rows, you can fit your hook through them like that without wiggling around too much. So each of these little V's is one chain stitch like that. So when you're counting, that will be one stitch. Like that, that's one stitch. So I'd advise practicing that for as long as you can to make sure that they all look very even, because otherwise it will make your work look a little bit messy. So once you've done that, I'll talk you through how to do some doubles. So each little stitch, as I said, has a V, and you go in the top V, you loop it around as if you're going to do another chain stitch and pull it through that top loop there that you've just gone into, and then you should have two left on your hook, and you loop it around again and then pull it through both. So that's put it in the next hole, loop it around, pull it through once, loop it around again, pull it through twice, and keep hold of it with your thumb and forefinger as you're doing this. And just go all the way down, put it in, loop it round, pull it through two, put it in, loop it round, pull it through the one, loop it round, pull it through the two. So we're just going to do, I've just done all along there, just doing the last double, so in, loop it round, pull it through, loop it round, pull it through two. Then to finish off a row, because we're just going back and forth for this one just to get some practice in, you always do a chain just to make sure that the edges are as straight as possible when you keep on working. Now we're going to do some, so practice doing that, and then once you've felt as though you've improved at that and it's looking a little bit neater, it's not meant to look perfect when you're first starting, we're going to do some back loop onlys, which will be used in the fingerless gloves tutorial. So you flip it round like that, so you're working in the same direction as you were before, and then the little V's of the stitch, usually you'd go in both of them like that when you're doing doubles or trebles or any other stitch. Right now you're only going to go in the back V, and that's going to hopefully create a nice ribbed effect that you won't be able to see too much since I'm going to do it for just one row, but when you're working on it in the fingerless gloves you will really see that ribbed stretchy effect. So it's the same as the doubles, however, you just go in the back loop only, hence why it's called double crochet back loop only, loop it round, pull it through that one, loop it around again, pull it through two. That's in the back loop only, you loop it round, you pull it through the one, you pull it through two. In the previous row we were going in chains, so there was only one loop to go into anyway, so this shouldn't be too much different to that. Just important to remember that when you're doing a full double crochet, normally you'd be going in both of them like that, whereas at the moment you're only going in the back one like that. So just finishing off this row of double crochet back loops only, I'll just do the last one again. So in, loop round, pull through the 1, loop round, pull through the 2, and then you just do a chain to finish it off to keep the edges straight. Flip it round again, just as before, and then we're going to do some trebles now. Again, these aren't that complicated, they're very similar to double crochets, apart from the fact that there's an extra stitch by looping it around first before you go in. So you start looping it around, then you go into the hole with the 2 sides of the V, you loop it round again, you pull through the V, you loop it round again, you pull through the top 2, might need a bit of a wiggle if it's a bit tighter, loop it round again, and then pull through the final 2. So it's got another step in it, but it's not dissimilar. So that's loop it round, the next stitch, go in both sides of the V, loop it round again, pull through that V, loop it round again, pull through 2, loop it round again, pull through the final 2. That's loop it round first, then go in the V, then loop it round, pull it through the V, so then you have 3 on your hook, 3 stitches on your hook. Loop it round again, you pull through the top 2, you loop it round again, and you pull through the last 2. So I've just undone those few rows. You can keep yours, this is just for demonstration. So this is how we're going to do a slip stitch. This is just used to join bits together. So we're going to slip stitch this side of the chain and this side of the chain together. So all you do is you put your hook in the first stitch of the, well, where you want to join it to, of that row. And then you loop it round and you pull through both of them, and then you give it a bit of a tighten up. And then you just do whatever else you need to do then, which will be explained in the videos if you're following these tutorials. But for the sake of argument, I'll just do a few chains. If something goes wrong and you can't figure out how to fix it, the best way to deal with it is just to pull it out. So just take the hook out and then just pull, and it should be fairly easy to pull out up to where you went wrong. So that's how you start making a slip knot, do a chain, a double crochet back loop only, and a triple crochet and joining various slip stitch. Join us for the next video, which will be making a granny square a bit like this.